姫にゃ、これを見てたら、今日の生放送見てなかった。まあ、両方見てなかった。本当に申し訳ございませんでした。心が痛くなってきて、私は、時間が破れたって。ごめんね。本当にごめんね。痛いよ、心が。なんか見なかったから、姫のぬいぐるみをたくさんよちよちする。チュチュもする。チュチュ。中よりのチュチュです。姫にゃのぬいぐるみとね。はい。So, I was justifying myself not watching my Oshi stream because I literally got lost in the time. So yeah, anyways, I was just apologizing at the beginning of the stream. So yeah. E aí galera, como é que vocês estão? Começando o papo semanal, o bate-papo de vocês, que eu falo um pouquinho da semana e das coisas aí normais, né? そうですね、今日のウィークリー、今週の雑談ですね。このシリーズが毎週の雑談のところですね。今日の申し訳ございませんでしたことは、姫にゃの生放送見てなかったね。姫にゃごめんなさい。本当に心が痛くなってきた。ごめんなさい。まあ、anyways。まあ、とにかくな。まあね。痛いけどね。Yeah, anyway, so I want to talk about our weekly series. And this week, I'm gonna be frank to you guys. I didn't play Deadlock that much, no? I played 2 Dooms, 1 or 2 days in the stream. So I played like once or twice, maybe Deadlock this week, which is kind of like bad. I want to play more Deadlock, but I was watching lots and lots of Deadlock videos, guides. I watched like the what's the name? The podcast of Dead Air, very good podcast by the way. I was watching some pro content, some games. I was watching the magic damage video where the guy explains about the magic damage formula. There are many ways to get magic damage, which is arcane power if I'm correct. But yeah, pretty much magic damage. Let's just say it's magic damage. It's gun damage, magic damage, melee damage, yeah? So I was watching that tutorial, and there's magic amplification, spirit damage. Remember, spirit damage. They don't say magic, it's spirit damage. It's pretty much magic damage. Come on, spirit damage equals magic damage in Deadlock. So I was watching the spirit amplification. There is like spirits, for example, like boundless is the only item that has percentage. I didn't know that. That makes boundless a lot better in my view. I didn't know like boundless is such a good item. I might low key, I might make it like first item. You know, if I'm not pressured to finish the game, or if I'm not winning hard, let's say I'm playing a game and like losing a little bit, I might just rush boundless because you can kind of smoothly make boundless. You kind of buy the tier 1, tier 2, and you kind of save a little bit, right? Because if you're having like a bad time, for example, making spirit burn, there's no item you can make before, so you kind of risk getting like killed and losing a bunch of souls. So it's actually like way smoother to just make smaller items that build into bigger items. More efficient and smoother, because you also get the benefits of the item like before, right? Like I said, for example, if you want to make a refresher, you kind of need to buy it in one way. So you kind of need to save 6,400, which is just sitting in your inventory. You can lose a little bit of that money if you die. So you play more passive, so you do less in the fights, blah 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 blah. So it's kind of like a snowball, negative snowball, right? So you're more cautious, you don't participate in the fights, blah blah blah. And it's like I said, if you're losing a game, you are already playing on defensive mode, kinda, right? Of course, play just defensive also it's a game losing, because like they say, if you're losing, you need to take risks, bigger risks than your opponents, to make plays, to split push, to, you know, get the enemies with, well, get the enemies with their pants low, whatever. I forgot the name of the way to say that. Anyways, so yeah, but making boundless, it's such a good item that scales in the later game because of the percentage, because of the 15% thing. And even if you buy like a first item, after that, if you build your normal reverb, the spirit burn, let's see, the echo shard, if you want to go like memes, whatever, with the double Q, yeah, you know, it's kind of insane. You know, I kind of thinking about maybe buying echo shard just for the double ultimate. You know, why? Because when you ulti as Yamato, your abilities get super crazy fast anyway, so getting like longer ultimate time, you get a lot more defense anyways, right? You get a bunch of stats, resistance, and etc. So I was just thinking right now, like maybe getting a longer ultimate with double ultimate with her, with Yamato. Sorry, I said her, but I don't know. Anyways, I think it's worth it, you know. But yeah, anyways, I was talking a little bit about that, so I didn't play that much Deadlock, but I watched a lot of content of Deadlock, tier lists, like yeah, a bunch of guides about it. So as long as you are like updating yourself with the game, it's fine. Like I learned a lot about spirit damage, which my character is pretty much spirit damage. Yamato, Gun Yamato, I know it was a thing in the previous, before the new item patch. You could just build like a bunch of gun damage on her. It worked a lot, but I think Yamato right now, it's like spirit burst character, which should be, but I still think maybe her gun could be a little bit better. I mean, it's difficult to balance everything, to have like her doing lots of things, but it's, like I said before, Yamato is such a character, she's not particularly strong in anything. Oh yeah, you might say, well, her Q is one of the best of the game in terms of pure damage, like the number is very high. Yeah, but there's many ways to counter, and I kind of got to learn that from the Spirit Master video. So at the end of the day, even her best tool, it's not like, oh my god, like it's the best Q. No, there are like way spammable Qs. When I say Q, I mean like the first skill, like okay, so let's say skill number 1. There are way more spammable skill number 1 with more utility. You know, maybe the damage is a little bit lower, but there's more utility. You can disarm your opponent. You can, like, you know, deal damage per second, whatever, to your opponent. So yeah, Yamato is not, she can do, or Yamato, they can do lots of things. Okay, I'm gonna say she because to me it looked like she. I know, please don't quote this video like in a few years. Oh, he said something about Yamato and the character is like actually this or that. Come on, I'm gonna say it now, she, Yamato. To be honest, Yamato is a boy name. Yamato is a boy name though. But hear me out. The voice actor is like female, and don't you come. Oh yeah, there are like guys with a very feminine voice, which is okay. There are guys with like very soft voices like that, and you can make her voice even more softer, you know. But that doesn't change the fact, which is like a female voice acting the character, and that makes a difference for me in saying she or he. But whatever, you know, it can be just different, because I know there's other. Anyways, I don't want to talk about politics here. I want to say, so Yamato, she isn't like a strong character or anything. I say that, and I stand by the statement. She can initiate. She can do a little bit of sustenance in the fight with her ability 3, with the second upgrade you get 6% of max HP, blah blah blah. You have some, you know, sustain, you have some initiation with the number 2, the hook. With the second upgrade, it's like, it's actually longer enough to initiate on people or chase people. If it's level 1, it's like super close, like oof, it's difficult to use that. But yeah, and with the ultimate, you also have more sustain, you have a little bit of burst, because you can, so the full combo is Q, number 2, number 3, and number 1, and then the ultimate, and number 2, number 3, number 1 again. Or maybe number 2, number 1, number 3, whatever. Yeah, anyways. So that's the combo for Yamato. You use your abilities, then you ultimate and reset your abilities when you ultimate. So Yamato with her ultimate has some sustain, right, as well. You get more burst. So she has a little bit of burst, a little bit of sustain, a little bit of initiation, you know, a little bit of chase. But like I said, it's a little bit. She is not like amazing at sustaining. She's not amazing at chasing. She's not amazing at initiating. She's not amazing at bursting people. You know, like I said, she's like an overall character, a generalist. So she fits it well in many comps, which I also think that's cool, to be honest. But I wish, like I said, she had a little bit of more late game impact. And that would mean changing her ultimate, maybe the last level of her ultimate, her abilities deal like percentage of HP damage, which can be a little bit like cookie cutter. So why not give, when you ultimate in a late game, you get more spirit power, you know, let's say. Or maybe the ultimate says your abilities ignore 50% of the opponent's spirit, blah 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 resistance, right? Which still makes, like, you can kind of play around, right? Because you can build more resistance, you can build barriers against that anyways. Barriers will not get ignored, I suppose, in that equation. So it's still like doable. It's still like counterable, but makes it a little bit stronger, right? So instead of your Q doing like, I don't know, 500, could do like 750, you know, do a little bit more oomph, you know. Make your number 3, which is like 150, do like 220 or something, you know. I think that is a very good compromise, being like ultimate and in the last level of ultimate. So like I said, maybe make some of the upgrades of Yamato, the current ones, be like base, you know. Increase the hook distance a little bit right now, and, you know, give a little bit more resistance, like, so just rebalance some of her passives, I guess, because I like her kit. I like her hook. I like the number 3, which is like short range, like AoE. I like the number 1, it's like a good nuke ability. It is skill shot. It's not like you just click on someone and just goes after them. You need to aim it, and people can play around, you know. People can get behind a building. People can like roll to the side very fast. Last minute they can roll. They can parry, you know, if they have like the parry thing. So it is like a skill shot, and it is like balance. I think balance enough for it. You don't need to like rehaul her entire kit. If they want to change her kit as well, I think keeping her number 1 and her number 2 is priority. If they want to change number 3, the AoE slash, it's okay. Maybe change it to something different, or maybe put a little bit of that heal in the number 1 skill or number 2 skill, you know, and just give Yamato like a different number 3. Or maybe get a number 3 skill and put it in number 2, so when you hook someone, you kind of do a slash, you know, you hook into someone and you do like a AoE slash instead of like a normal slash. You know what I mean? So you kind of like, of course you would need to tone down a little bit, because yeah, having the number 2 dealing like, I don't know, 200 damage, 300 damage, and like 6% like HP recovery, yeah, it is a little bit too much, of course. If you add, for example, like another, you know, nuke ability to number 3 instead. So it would need some rebalance, but I think it would be fine. It would make you know, you would need to hook into someone to heal. But right now you don't need to hook, you know. But yeah. And it makes a little bit of weird angles to do it. So, and there's some potential maybe on number 3, let's say every time you deal spirit damage to someone, you know, you get like, I don't know, a cooldown reduction and more spirit damage, for example. That could be her new number 3, like a passive ability, for example. It could be that, because if you play Yamato, you're gonna build, most likely you're gonna build the frost thing. You're gonna have like 1 or 2 items you need to click anyways in all games. There's the orchid item thing, which you can silence people. You can build refresher, you can build decay. You know, some games I actually have like 2, 3, 4, 5 items I need to click. So maybe, you know, reducing the skill number 3, the AoE slash, and combining it to the number 2, the hook, could be cool actually. That would be like a skill shot in itself, because then you need to angle a little bit the way you hook into someone, or maybe you're gonna hook into a creep to do like a little bit like AoE damage extra. I actually like that idea. Give Yamato maybe the AoE more damage into number 3, changing number 3 to a passive, I don't know, the samurai spirits, the 7th samurai spirit clan burn, whatever. When you deal spirit damage to the enemies, you get cooldown reduction and like spirit power or something like that. And then you can have like in that number 3, maybe, you know, whenever you deal spirit damage and you kill someone while they are under spirit damage, you get like, I don't know, a stack of speed, for example, like a stack of movement speed. You know, make her like a menace into the late game if she gets more and more kills, because, you know, right now with Yamato, it is a little bit difficult to get solo kills unless you actually stomp a lane and you power spike hard. If the enemies play safe, it's very difficult to get kills. She's not like Hei's character, just move, you just run at someone, just, you know, aim at the head to kill someone, you know. She's not like that. And I know Hei's needs items to do that. Yamato is the same, but even with items, it's difficult to kill people with her. Unless they are misplaying very hard and they're just being like goofy around, you know. If they're good to okay players, you're not gonna easily die to Yamato. Yeah, she can chase, she could have the ice, whatever. But like I said, if you're playing, you know, as a normal player would play, instead of just trying to, you know, be too crazy, you can just not be in the range. You know, you're not gonna be in the range. And you can say, oh yeah, that is valid to most characters. No, there are some characters, they can literally dive towers, they can literally dive the enemy to kill you, and they will kill you if they want to. Yamato is not like that. Definitely not like that. Because the kill takes so long, man. And for your, when you OT, that's like 2 seconds of doing nothing. When you number 2, there's the getting to the enemy animation. So you are constantly wasting time. The number 3 is so short anyways. Like I said, the Q is parable. You know, there's many things you can do to counter that anyway, so it takes a long time and long setup to do some damage with her. Versus like a gun character which can just hold M1 and just burst you down, you know? You know, I would say even 7, gun damage 7 with the power surge thing and like, let's say, I don't know, Tesla bullets does way more damage than her in average, you know. I'm not talking about his balls skill or his ultimate. I thought just like a pure gun DPS, he does more damage than Yamato with the same items. That's what I'm gonna say. With the same items, like same power level items, he does way more damage, hands down. You know, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Yamato needs a little bit more oomph. She doesn't have that. Yeah, and she's such a cool character. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this stream right here. Thank you guys for watching. I'm just rambling a little bit about deadlock. And well, yeah, I forgot to talk about my week, I guess. My week, normal. I was tired, worked a lot, lots of carrying. Well, I need to go to bed right now. I'm so tired. Because I am changing my sleep schedule to be a little bit earlier. And well, I need to work on that as well. So thank you very much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye. Vejo vocês na próxima. So, yeah. もう改めて姫にゃ見てなかったごめんなさいね。マジでごめんなさい。いいだよ。Anyways。頑張る。頑張るぞい。自分も頑張るぞい。頑張るぞい。まあね。I gotta try harder ね。Well, I'm having fun playing Deadlock, so I'm just gonna... I'm a long haul Deadlock player. I remember that for... But I think Artifact was like, oh yeah, I'm a long haul player. Blah blah blah, né?